Hello and thank you for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. My name is Jake Lloyd Bacon, co-founder of the network, just popping in briefly because it is that time of the year once again. March 2024 marks the 7-year anniversary of Dragon Wagon Radio. For 7 years, we've done the best we can to bring you the most professional podcasts possible. We continue to cultivate communities of people from all over the world, bonded by their love for a wide variety of topics. Dragon Wagon has produced 20 different podcasts, over 1,800 individual episodes with millions of downloads, all completely free to you. So we humbly ask, in honor of our 7th anniversary, that you consider showing your support and playing a part in keeping our shows free always. There are tons of ways that you can help. First and foremost, please check out our shop at dragonwagonshop.com. A fantastic collection of high-quality merchandise is available to you for reasonable prices. You can also visit our support page where you can find a link to make a donation directly and even an Amazon wish list. That's at dragonwagon.com/support. Some of our shows have individual Patreon accounts where they offer additional material. Please consider becoming monthly patrons if that's available. Additionally, leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify costs you absolutely nothing and goes a really long way to help. Lastly, consider sharing your favorite podcasts with your friends. Share clips or quotes on social media. Most shows have their own accounts, but you can also follow at It's Dragon Wagon on all major social media platforms. So thanks again for another fantastic year, for being a dedicated listener, and as always, for being the best part of Dragon Wagon Radio. Happy anniversary, and here's to another great year of your favorite indie podcast network. Now let's get this show started.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends Pop Punk Dad Podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I am Chris183, and today we are back with another Quick Hits. It's been a minute since we've had a Quick Hits episode, but this is a very special one because back on the show, it feels like it's been too long, Mr. Tim Rogner. Tim, welcome back to High School Never Ends.
Thank you. I am very excited to be back here, guys. Thanks for having me back on.
Always
Absolutely.
a pleasure. Tim joined us. We talked for 2.5 hours about Alistair, and then we made the reunion of the century when we brought back the star-crossed lovers, Adam Larbach and Tim Rogner, to shoot the shit about Drive-Thru Records. So that was super, super fun. But topic of conversation today, a little bit different. We're going to talk about Hot Alice. Chris, do you know Hot Alice?
I do know Hot Alice, but I want to know more about this band. So that's what I'm hoping Tim is going to do today, is talk more about this Hot Alice band.
I can do that.
Do you guys know what happens if you Google or you YouTube Hot Alice? Do you have any guesses?
Do I want to know? I'm not sure I want to know.
Yeah.
There's an actress named Alice Eve, and I can't place the movies that she's in, but there's a couple of tributes to her. So I guess she's the Hot Alice.
Well,
I guess so.
I mean, let's talk about that first. You are not referencing Alice from the Brady Bunch or any other Alice, right? When you name this band, is it?
We are not.
Okay.
No, but we should have. That would have made it much cooler. Much, much cooler.
Sure. I'm sure there's somebody out there that believes that that she's hot, and I forget the actress's name. But anyway. Yeah, tell us all about it. How did you come up with the name Hot Alice?
To be honest with you, it's a really good question. We don't even really know. I was sitting when we started the band a long time ago. I was sitting at the bar with my brother, who plays the guitar, and we were talking about band names. And he's like, "Well, I've got some ideas here in my phone." And he opens up his notes app and he starts scrolling through some of them. And I can't remember what some of them were, but we're like, "No, that doesn't work." No, and he's like, "I got this in here, Hot Alice." I was like, "Well, that's kind of cool." He's like, "Yeah, I liked it, but I don't really remember why I put it in my phone." I was like, "Let's just go with it." And so that was the genesis of Hot Alice. We don't know where it came from. We don't know how it got into his phone, but we decided on the name because we thought it was not the worst name, and so we went with it.
It's always a good choice. This is not the worst name. Let's do it. Maybe he meant to maybe he met somebody named Alice and he thought that she was hot and he meant to save the contact as Hot Alice so he knew who it was, but it ended up in the notes app. I don't know.
That's a theory. I don't think that is exactly what happened. My guess is he was probably drinking and saw some kind of reference for Alice, and he probably made some very deep connection somehow, and he just couldn't remember exactly what it was because he's a deep thinker, right? Like he makes a lot of like really good connections and things like that with words and phrases or whatever and things that he sees. And I have a feeling that's where it sort of came from, but he couldn't really remember. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. And we're just like, yeah, let's go with it.
Yeah.
So we did.
Is this the first time you've been in a band with your brother, or have you been playing music together for a long time?
That's an interesting question because he actually played in Alistair for about a year and a half, maybe. He's the one that's in all of the band pictures in Last Stop Suburbia. He's the one with the big hair. So technically, we played in a band together. And then I filled in a little bit for his other band, August Premiere. I play guitar a little bit with them, but it's the first. And then we sort of had another band together before Hot Alice called The Collapsed, but that was pretty short lived because our bass player ended up moving to Florida. So this is kind of the first like real band that we've sort of started from the beginning together with him, and it's awesome. I love it. It's great.
Actually, that brings up something that I've been wanting to ask you. I think this is since the last time you've been on the show. So it's one of your music videos. Is that somewhere down on Fullerton, or is it? It's a different one. I know you redid that video. The original one, was that the band tryout? Was that?
Yes.
Yes.
The original. Yes, the original video.
Was that your brother in that video?
Yes, he was the
Yes.
one with the big hair trying out for the band.
Yes.
Running around
Okay.
with the guitar. Yeah, that's Chris.
We
Yep.
speculated that, and I think we talked about it somewhere, and then somebody on social media corrected us and said that, and I'm like, oh, okay, I had no idea, but that was really cool. So
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right. So you guys are playing together, and so what was it? Just one day you decided, let's just do this, and then just started collecting the other pieces, the other band members, and got this band together? Is that kind of how it went, or?
Sort of. So Alistair kind of, took a hiatus for the first time in 2007. And I really needed some time away from music to just not be in a band. And just kind of needed to do my own thing. And so I stopped doing music for like in a band, right? In a band collective for a little while. And then I sort of got the itch to do it again. And we were sort of playing a little bit with Alistair. We were kind of doing some other things, but it wasn't really serious. And I wanted something that I wanted a band that I could play with a lot, like on a relatively regular basis. Didn't necessarily want to tour or do anything like that, but I wanted a solid band that I could write records with and record and at least play a lot around Chicago. And so my friend Nate at the time was playing drums, and I had called him up. I was like, hey, I have this idea for a project. I want it to be like a little bit more rock and roll. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So him and I actually jammed a couple of times prior to my brother and Pickles joining the band. And we kind of wanted to hash out some song ideas and see if it could even work. And so Nate and I jammed a couple times. We got a few songs down. And then I called my brother and said, hey, we got these few songs pretty much, in the bag, ready to go. Do you and Pickles want to hop in on this? And he was like, yeah, definitely. So him, my brother Chris, and Pickles came down to a rehearsal space one day, and we just jammed, and like we just knew it was like, yep, this is going to be the band. Like it just hit. Like it was just good. It was really good.
And so for people that may not have heard it, you mentioned you want to do something a little more rock and roll. And I hear that. I definitely hear it. But how would you describe the music that you're making now with this project?
Yeah, we wanted to we purposefully tried to do something a little bit more rock and roll. Like we wanted to do something a little more along the lines of like Foo Fighters-ish. And I guess I would probably describe it as like Foo Fighters meets Jimmy Eat World meets like the Marvelous Three, which is kind of all bands that we really, really like. So it's like pop rock, rock and roll, I suppose. Um, and sometimes it can be a little bit heavier. Sometimes it can be a little bit poppier. Just kind of depends on kind of the stuff that we're writing. But I do think it's different from Alistair. Like I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I view, Alistair as more of like a true pop punk band, right? More like kind of old Blink or like Homegrown or Green Day, old Green Day, the Ramones, Screeching Weasel, stuff like that. And this band is a little bit more musically diverse.
But I think that it definitely still has undertones. Like you could still kind of not hear Alistair, but maybe it's because you're in it. I don't know, but you definitely hear that different sound, and I like it though. I think that it's a nice departure from what we're used to. And look, I'm a self-professed fan of Alistair myself, and I got into this kind of immediately. Like I like rock music too. I'm big into Foo Fighters and that sort of thing. So this was right up my alley as well. And I guess, for you guys, you're so far you have, I'm taking a look at your discography. So we have Tales of the Sea, which I love that one, right? I love that title. Actually, let's talk about that real quick. So Tales of the Sea.
Astonishing
Tales of the Sea. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What was the influence there?
So if you look at our entire catalog, there's a theme that kind of runs through all of the titles of our records, and we are very, very, very big Seinfeld fans.
I was just gonna say that.
I will leave it at that, and so you can kind of make the connections with all of the different titles and find the episodes that some of these titles are kind of derived from.
Now I'm going to have to do that because I'm a big Seinfeld fan.
Are you Seinfeld fans?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, we're enormous Seinfeld fans, and so.
Well, Chris, the one before it was Del Vista Boca.
Del Vista Boca.
I actually almost said it the right way because there's actually.
I do too. I do it all the time. Yeah.
One of the guys in my fantasy baseball league. That's like his team name is because he's in Florida. He's Del Boca Vista. So
okay.
That one's pretty obvious. Scandals and Animals. I think I might have to think about. I don't know.
Scandals and Animals in all of these are from maybe not necessarily Del Vista Boca, but Scandals and Animals and Astonishing Tales of the Sea are from at least two of my top 5 favorite episodes of all time.
Okay.
Which is,
I think we know what we got to do for ranking it then.
Yeah.
Which is, I'll tell you the names of the episodes. The one is the Merv Griffin Show.
Okay.
And then the other one is the Andrea Doria.
I don't remember that one.
So Astonishing Tales of the Sea. That's not the marine biologist.
That's not the marine biologist.
No, I got my brain twisted. It's been a while since I've rewatched Seinfeld, but when I was a kid, I watched it like incessantly.
Do you rewatch it a lot? Do you watch it like every day, or do you rewatch it all the time?
Yeah, all the I don't necessarily put it on, but like if I see that reruns are on TV, I will watch it, and it's unbelievable to me. Like I will watch. I've seen the same episodes at least 500 times, right? And they're still funny. I still laugh out loud at so many of them, and I can't believe that there's a show that's like so timeless and so good that I can still laugh about it.
Did it carry over to Curb?
I don't have HBO currently, so I haven't watched a lot of Curb. Like the episodes that I've watched of Curb, I really like a lot, but I haven't seen that many of them because and I'm not anymore as I got older. I'm not much of a TV watcher. So I find myself not watching a lot of TV.
See, now I'm just thinking about all kinds of stuff that the next album could be called, unless you already have that.
We kind of already have them picked out. I mean, we we made the list of like potential album titles for this one, and we kind of like ranked them, and we're like, well, maybe we'll save that one for the next one or the next, like one of the next 2 or 3. So we sort of have an idea of what they might be, but also, I mean, I think it sort of depends on how the songs turn out, right? Because I think sometimes the songs can at times dictate, the name of the record, or maybe push it in one direction or another.
Is it Is it going to be tied to jambalaya? I mean, can you leak that a little bit?
I don't know, but we should somehow tie it to Newman because he's just such a good character.
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk about this album then, Astonishing Tales of the Sea. I really enjoyed it, and
Thank you.
So you guys, but this just come out this year, right?
Yeah, it just came out. I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago, February. I'll probably get the date wrong, but I think it was the 23rd, maybe.
Gotcha. So any thoughts or anything you want to share in terms of like putting this album together?
Yeah, like we've kind of been working on some of these songs for, I don't know, maybe 2 years or so. And I feel like with this particular record, I don't know why this is, but we put in the most work with it. Like we really took the time to go through the songs and experiment with different sounds or with different, patterns of the songs, and like tried changing things around to really get the songs in a state that we wanted them and that we, felt really good about. And I don't think we've done that with all of our other records. With some of the other stuff that we put out, we'd write a song and we'd jam it and we'd kind of all throw in our ideas, and then that was kind of the song. But this batch, we really kind of pieced together and worked really hard on, and I feel like it shows. I feel like I feel like the songs are all structurally there, in a way I know that we are all very, very happy with.
And you guys put this out independently, so there's nobody over your shoulder telling you what to do or anything like that.
Exactly.
You also made the choice to release it as like a cohesive piece, right? The EP, I know a lot of people will release a song, or maybe they'll release 4 songs before the album comes out. Is the album in its entirety, that's an important concept for you still?
I think so. Yeah. It's funny because like we're old men now, and we kind of all come from that background of like, you release records and you release albums. And so we're still sort of in that mindset. It's like, it's difficult sometimes for us to wrap our minds around the fact that there's lots of artists and lots of bands who just kind of release song by song by song. And there's not really anything wrong with that, but we do still like the idea of a record, or a collection of songs that you can kind of listen to at once. And so, I think with this one, we wanted to do a full album, right? We wanted to do like 11, 12 songs, but we just weren't there. And we felt like these songs were very strong and really good, and we just wanted to get something out, and we wanted to release something. So we kind of made the decision, what, let's at least do these 6, and we'll put these out, because these can all kind of stand for themselves and stand on their own legs, and we were really happy with it. We recorded it over a couple different weekends between November and December of last year. We recorded with this guy, Chuck McCack in Downers Grove, and he's just got a studio in his basement. And it's great. It's awesome. He made it sound really, really good. We're really happy with the way everything turned out. And it was super easy working with him, super easy to put everything together. And I'm really happy with the way the whole thing turned out.
Nice. Any physical media?
We do. It's actually being pressed right now. We pressed like 100 or so 12-inch vinyls, and we pressed like, I forget how many CDs. I don't know. Do people even buy CDs anymore?
Chris actually just made the transition. He's transitioned himself to vinyl, so he's now a vinyl guy.
Nice.
I wouldn't call it a transition. I'd call it an and vinyl. Because I still like my CDs too. So I
still like CDs too. Although I think I only have one CD player, and that's in my car.
I don't even think I have that anymore.
I have one like it's like a little stereo that kind of sits on top of the dresser in the living room. So but I do have a little Bluetooth thing attached to it. So I never use the CD player. I just Bluetooth from my phone. But I have the ability. I go like this because it goes in from the top.
I can sell you, Steve, my 350 disc changer. It's in the garage.
I feel like somebody just hacked Chris's Facebook marketplace.
I have one. I just don't have the speakers or anything to hook it up to, but I have it. Someday. someday. But that's
Listen,
cool.
I definitely I like that you guys put out the EP. I understand. Listen, everybody listening, Tim is a young man. Don't let him tell you that he's an old man. He is a young man. But to put together, 12 songs, and I assume everybody's got, work and things like and recording time. So to put together 12 or 13, that's a big undertaking.
It is, yeah. It can be a challenge, and like you said, because this isn't a full-time job for us. We have kids and wives and families and jobs that take up the majority of our time. It can be challenging to write songs and rehearse as a band. And so that was another reason why we wanted to make sure that we got these songs out there and we finished them in a way that we really liked. And I think the other thing about this particular batch of songs is that we, like with Alistair, we were never necessarily big on writing like personal songs, right? Songs that were very at least personal to the songwriter, like between Scotty and myself. Like we would write personal songs, but nothing like super deep or like with a lot of meaning behind it. And I think that's a little bit different in this band. I think we've kind of gotten to a point now where this is a really good way for us to kind of express ourselves now. And I think some of these songs are a little bit more personal. And I feel like that kind of comes across. I think the older that we get and the more experiences that we have, the more things that we have to talk about that are personal to us and that do mean a little bit more to us. And I think we can do a better job in this band of kind of writing about that and expressing those things. And that's kind of fun. It's a little scary sometimes too, but it's also really cool.
Do you think that was something that you wanted to do though back then, and you just didn't feel like it was the right time or the right band or just whatever, right? It just didn't feel right to do that, so you didn't, and now you're getting the opportunity to? Or was it just like you said, where at that point in time in your life and that band that you just weren't thinking that way? And now
I think the latter for sure, right? I mean, like Alistair was started when we were 16, so it was like just a perpetual party, right? And that's all we kind of wanted to do is go hang out and party and write songs and drink some beers with our friends and hang out, which is great. And we were able to do that, and we loved every minute of it. I think with this band now, it's a little bit different in the fact that we take it a little more seriously. I think we take the songwriting aspect of it a little bit more seriously.
Well, having said that, why don't we play some tracks here? You sent us over 2 that we're going to play, but I'll let you tell us which one we should play first.
I think you should play All My Friends. I think that's the first track on the record, and I think it really kind of sets the tone for, I think, the way that the whole, like the feel of the entire record.
All right. Having said that, here's Hot Alice, All My Friends.
There's a rivalry inside of my soul, like a stranger in a strange world unknown. There's a side of me that walks a lonely road. I'm ashamed you could feel so good to come back home. You gotta feel and the pressure in my chest keeps me awake. Yeah, it feels like this is the last goodbye. Terrified, I'm sinking once again. Give my love and my best to all my friends. To all my friends. To all my friends. To all my friends.
Yeah, can definitely, dude. That song is great. Great song to kick off the album, and I definitely hear like these more. It kind of feels like, and again, we've listened to Alistair for so long, and to hear your voice again on the record with a different band, it's like got that familiar thing, but it does have that more rock to it, and it does kind of seem like maybe, you know, Alistair was for me when I was 18. Like this is kind of for me at 40. You know, I hear themes of, you know, anxiety and you know, things that are like every day in the lives of adults. But the song like kicks ass. So fantastic. And hopefully I didn't
Thanks.
read too much into that, but I
No,
think it's
that's
good that you're writing that personal
No,
stuff.
that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, like I think that's kind of the point of Hot Alice too, is like we wanted to have a band for adults. You know, not that Alistair wasn't necessarily, but like I said, we started when we were kids, and that was kind of the way we just kept going. And this feels a little bit more like a grown-up band, you know. And I like that. You know, it's cool. It's fun.
100%. I agree with Steve too. I don't think there's more to say other than what he said. I hear all of the things you said with the comparisons to the other bands, but I think it's its own thing. So, you know, it does have undertones of what you said before, but I think it was Foo Fighters, Jimmy Eat World, and there was one other. Well, I'm forgetting
The
the other
Marvelous
one.
Three.
Yeah, Marvelous 3.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's see your voice. It's Hot Alice, and yeah, it is a good intro song because it's uplifting, it's energetic, it's powerful. It's exactly what you want. It keeps people listening. So,
And
yeah,
I
we'll
think
do
it's
it.
cool, like you guys said, from a fan perspective, you know, there is a familiarity to it. Like
Yeah.
you said, Steve, like you kind of hear my voice that you've been hearing for so long, but it's in a little bit of a different context, which I think can be a cool new context, you know?
I agree, and I think that you guys did a little bit of this, like in the latter, you know, albums in Alistair. I feel like the sound evolved a little bit more past like the basic pop punk. You know, it's not Dead Ends and Girlfriends, Last Stop Suburbia. Those last couple records did grow up a little bit in terms of the sound, and I
Yeah.
feel like this is almost kind of a natural progression as a person who's getting older and who's done it a whole bunch of times to do
Yeah, I
something
agree.
a little bit more. I don't know, mature. Is that that's a stupid thing to say? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's sort of apropos, right? I mean, it sort of makes sense. But yeah, I think that's exactly right.
And just so that you're aware, like I also have a pressure on my chest that keeps me awake, but it's my fucking cat, because my cat jumps on my chest and licks my chin while I'm trying to sleep, and I just have to wait until it's over, and then
I
he
think
jumps off.
I would suffocate if I had a cat on my chest. I'm allergic to cats, and so that would be not good for me.
He's
not.
16 and a half pounds. He's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing.
I don't know if that was what Tim was talking about in the song, though.
I'm just relating in my own personal way. Everybody takes the lyrics.
But
you know.
that's what you're supposed to do, right? You relate in your own personal way. I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's. Can we hear another one?
Yeah, cue us up. So the next song we're going to play, so we're going 1 and 2 on the record. So if anybody wants to hear the rest of it, 3, 4, 5, 6, make sure and check it out. It's on Spotify, the streaming services, Bandcamp, all the things. But cue us up on the next one, Tim.
So this is track number 2 off of the record, and it's one that my brother wrote, and it's called Horizons, and it's really fucking good.
Here it is.
I got hit with the news like a summertime blues, like a Cat 5 hurricane. I was traveling alone when she called up and told me that she'd been in the hospital for days. She insisted everything was alright when I questioned what was wrong. So we mused on her past, together we laughed. The next day she was gone. Nostalgic feelings hit me right there when it hurt. And every time I get a little bit older, they just keep hitting worse. 'Cause now I feel just like I did way back when we were young, barely hanging on, like a hopeless setting sun. And in that moment where the light still shines to guide her through, as horizons do, it's the salad days she'll hold on to. I found the letters she wrote, the pictures, the notes, hand-drawn anime. We were happy and dumb, kids having fun, innocent and unafraid. I know they say you shouldn't live in the past 'cause it ain't ever coming back. But the memories and all of the gifts and the calls were some of the best days I ever had. Another night spent reeling, wishing I'd have known. Oh, Hiroko, no, don't you go thinking you're out there on your own. 'Cause now I feel just like I did way back when we were young, barely hanging on. Life had only just begun, and I will always find the light which shines to guide me through, as your eyes can do in those days. Go! I still see her smile, the smile chef's kiss, exquisite perfection. Her fingers bounce right off the lips. And now I feel just like I did way back when we were young, barely hanging on, like a hopeless setting sun. And in that moment where the light still shines to guide us through, as horizons do, it's the salad days we'll hold on to. We'll hold on to. We'll hold on to. So hold on.
All right, I'm going first this time, Steve, because I had notes. I was writing notes. My pen ran out. I was writing so much, but I got a couple questions for you, Tim, and just a couple statements. So first of all, this song, I'll just kind of say it. Like, this song's amazing. I love this one. I really, really love how it starts. The overall riff, the guitar riff is amazing. The sound, it kind of, to me, and this is just to me, I feel like this is like kind of a 38 special type beats, with the guitar, and it just feels that way. Like John Cougar, like it brings me back to like the mid 80s, like maybe even the late 70s. I don't know, like that sound. This is through the verse. So I love that, right? I love that. It makes me feel a certain way. And again, that riff was spot on, but that chorus, that big melodic chorus, I love that so much. I have to know, and this is a question, like when you guys put that together and you played that for the first time, it had to give you chills, right? You had to feel something when you played that chorus, because it was so good. It was so good.
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate all of those compliments. But yes, that so I remember when my brother first brought the song into practice, and we were just kind of like, this is fucking awesome, right? Like, and he was playing it for us, and then we started jamming it, and we kind of developed it, and that's the thing is like I think collectively, and this goes back to like the Alistair days too, right? Like some of our most favorite parts of songs are big choruses. And that's what we love. And those are the bands that we grew up listening to, the bands with like just the biggest possible hooks you could ever imagine. And that's what we like writing. And so you're 100% right, Chris. Like every time I play that song, it still gives me chills. And like listening to it and just knowing the story behind it. And when we play, I'm like, yes. And like it feels good to be part of an awesome song and to be able to play a song that I think is awesome. You know, like it's such a cool feeling.
It has to. It has to. Like, especially like, just hearing it all come together and you being a part of that sound for the first time. That's got to be an amazing feeling. And especially when you have the guitar drop out and he sings that chorus again. Like I love when that happens in a song. So you guys, you checked all the boxes for me in this one. So.
And those are things that we worked on, right? Like we workshop like how we should structure the song. Should we do this here? Should we do this here? And we tried like different iterations of like verse, chorus, bridge, verse, bridge, chorus, to see like what the best structure should be for the song. And I think this one, this one and probably the last song on the record called The Last Collab, were the two songs like specifically that we probably spent the most time on, just like working, like trying different guitar parts, like trying different chord progressions and things here and there. And so we really felt like we had, something solid. And I'm glad we did that because, I think it paid off. Like it worked.
Yeah, Chris said it best. The song checks all the boxes, and there's some extra boxes that he didn't mention that check them for me. First off, the theme, the callback, the memories of youth. I mean, come on, we're all old. We wanna think back when we were young and look back upon those times fondly. You mentioned the verses are very classic Rocky, but that's a classic pop punk chorus. I mean, I don't know any other way to necessarily categorize it. Hopefully that's not a negative term in anybody's minds, but I mean, it's a huge, big hooky chorus. And man, if I don't know how much production background you and the team have, but all those harmony, the song is full of like in the harmonies. That's my box, man. I love the background, oohs, ahs, claps, all that good stuff. And this one has it all. So I really enjoyed it. Do you guys? So do you hire a producer, or are you doing the whole thing yourself?
No, we did the whole thing ourselves. Like that was all. I think there was like one or two bits and pieces here and there that Chuck, the guy who engineered the record for us, had maybe like suggested that we try or we do something like this, but we did probably 95% of all of the production on the record.
Is that for all your records so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's a huge compliment. Yeah, and it's something that I really enjoy doing, that we enjoy doing. And there really is kind of an art form to it, like thinking about, because I think, at least for me, like when I was younger, I didn't really pay too much attention to the production quality of the songs, like how the songs, all the things going on in different songs, right? Like I knew if it sounded good, like if the guitar tones were good or the drum tones were good, but you forget about like those little oohs and ahs and hand claps and like just little things like that really make a song shine. And I think now that we have the ability to like take the time to think of those things and incorporate those things, it's really cool and it's a lot of fun. And I think it just makes the song sound even better.
Yeah, I mean, jamming it out together in the studio or the garage or wherever you're doing it, and then bringing it to life in a studio and adding the effects that bring it to life is it can be transformative. I've been listening to a little bit too much Krista Makes a Podcast recently, and he breaks down the songs and there's this arpeggiated guitar and it's panned left and right. I'm not that crazy.
Ooh, look at you.
It's- I don't even know what these words mean, but again, harmony I can appreciate. Oohs and ahs mixed in well, and it just takes a song to another level. So
Yeah,
Big
that's
fan.
our bag for sure too.
I didn't
Love
hear
that
any
stuff.
claps though, so that's okay. I'm not, I could
Well,
do
we'll
without
have
the
to
clap.
sneak some into the next song.
Steve likes claps. I'm not the biggest fan, but that's okay. It's
ain't
you
nothing wrong
can't
with some
ruin
claps.
nothing you can do with this song that would make it a bad song. You can do anything you want, but cool, really good. So I think the progression here is just to kind of talk about what's next for you guys. You had mentioned before about getting out and playing some shows in the Chicago area. I imagine, is that something you're going to continue to do moving forward?
Yeah, we actually have a show coming up on April 6th at the Tivoli Bowl in Downers Grove. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember the other bands that are playing, but it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. And then we're trying to book some more shows for spring and then coming up early summer and stuff. And we just want to play as much as we can. And we're gonna keep writing. Hopefully we could probably even do another record maybe next year or within maybe 18 months. Just kind of keep writing and keep recording because it's cool. And that's kind of the plan. We don't necessarily have a plan to tour or play shows far outside of the Chicago land area, unless something happens to come up. But we'll see. We'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it.
But we're willing to ditch the wives and the kids for a weekend.
100%.
And play a show
Yes.
elsewhere if the
Yeah.
opportunity presented itself.
Of course. Yeah.
What's the farthest out you've gone?
Hot Alice?
Yeah, Hot Alice.
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Not you, Tim, because you've told us before you've been to,
He's been
like,
to Japan.
Yeah, right.
we've
So-
I've toured around a few different places. I think the farthest Hot Alice has gone is we played a show up in Milwaukee at the
wow.
X-Ray Arcade a couple 2 years ago maybe. And that was cool. It's a great venue. And it's not that far. It's like an hour and a half from Chicago, maybe 90
So
miles, 100 miles or so.
We're in Pennsylvania. We're just trying to see where's the radius that
Yeah,
how close we
I
get.
mean, we could make it to Pennsylvania in like a day and a half and play Pennsylvania and then Cleveland on the way back, and it's a long weekend. So
we're in.
See
You
what we
do
can
it, we're
do.
in. I mean, I'd even do Ohio. I mean, that's probably even closer for you. So
it's true. Yeah.
Tour manager, High School Never Ends, Pop Punk Dad podcast.
Yes.
We're
Talk
do
to
our
us.
best. Booking agent, tour manager, all that. Financial
Do it all.
services, we do it
That's
all.
right. That's right.
well, that's exciting, though. It's really cool to hear that you guys, there's no end in sight. You're going to continue to make music, with Hot Alice, and this thing has some legs. So that's awesome, and we'll continue to listen.
Awesome.
And-
Yeah. I would encourage people to go check it out because I think you'll really dig it.
Awesome. Well, all right. So we had a lot of fun so far talking about Hot Alice, but this is the time in the show where we kind of shift gears just a little bit. Tim, you've been on the show before, so you know that we do a segment called Ranking It, and today I think I'm going to call an audible because I don't know how I couldn't. I mean, we kind of unearthed something here on this show about one of your favorite things, so we have to go. I was going to go music. I was going to go whatever, right? But we're going to scrap all that. So today, in order from 3 to 1, three being not the worst, but just your third favorite to your first. Can you name your top 3 Seinfeld episodes?
I think. All right. Oh, man, this is going to be hard. Can I give you a top 5?
Yeah, you can do top 5.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So top 5, I think I would have to put the Andrea Doria. So do you want me to give you a quick hit of what each one is too?
Please. Yeah. For those of us out there that don't know, because there's a lot of people. That'd
Yeah,
be
no,
awesome.
for sure. So the Andrea Doria is the one where Kramer takes dog pills and and George is trying to get the apartment, and they give it to the guy who survived the Andrea Doria sinking, and that's where the phrase "astonishing tales of the sea" comes from that episode.
Okay.
Probably my number 4 episode would be The Voice, where Jerry is doing that voice around his girlfriend, and she gets all pissed off because they keep going, hello, hello. And it's the one with Kramerica Industries, and Kramer hires the assistant, Darren. I think number 3 would probably be the Kenny Rogers chicken. The Kenny where Kramer's trying to put Kenny Rogers out of business, and then he ends up really liking the chicken, and Kramer and Jerry swap apartments.
And Jerry gets addicted.
Yep. And that's the one with the line at the very end where Jerry's like, Newman, you wouldn't eat broccoli if it was deep fried in chocolate sauce.
That's it.
I think another one of my favorite episodes is the Muffin Tops, which
I
is the
love that.
one where Kramer starts the Peterman reality bus tour, and he buys this school bus and he takes all these random people on this like fake tour around the city. That one's really good.
Jerry shaves his
and-
chest.
Yeah, Jerry shaves his chest. Yep, and Elaine goes into business with Mr. Lipman, making just the muffin tops. That's the one where at the end they call in Newman because he's the cleaner, and he comes in and he eats all the muffin stumps.
Nobody
And
wants a
then-
stump.
Yeah, and then probably my favorite one is the Merv Griffin, show where Kramer finds the Merv Griffin set in the trash, and he brings it back to his apartment, and he pretends like he's the host of the Merv Griffin show. It's so good. It's just so funny. Jerry dates the woman with the toy collection. She won't let him play with her toys.
Does he have play-in music for that? Like, does somewhere, like when people come in, it's in his apartment, right? Or does he put it in Jerry's?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some kind of music that he plays when everybody comes in. And I think it's just like audience applause or like something on the radio. But then he has Newman sitting there with him.
So good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
great.
good.
It's fantastic. But that's the episode where Scandals and Animals comes from. Because Kramer's like, it's our new format, Scandals and Animals.
That's it. That's a deep cut. I love it.
Yeah, it's a real
Props,
deep cut.
props to that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch Seinfeld. This is
I know.
just what I have to do.
I keep I rewatch things like sometimes in the background when I don't need to pay attention. So like right now I'm rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is a hilarious show, but I probably saw it, when it first aired. But I need to go back and do the Seinfeld. I feel like I watched The Office so many times in a row that like all the Seinfeld trivia I had in my brain somehow got replaced with Office trivia, unfortunately. So I need to refresh.
Yeah, The Office is like the one I mentioned before that I don't really watch a lot of TV. That's the one show that I have been watching a lot of recently because I didn't watch it before, and so I'm kind of sort of catching up. And it's good. I like it a lot. I don't think it compares to Seinfeld, but it is funny.
Does anything come close? Let's put it that way. Does anything come close to Seinfeld?
I don't think so. There was a show my brother turned me on to. I think it was only on Hulu. It was called Dave. For a little while, have you seen Dave?
I have not. No.
That is, I don't know how many seasons are. I think maybe only 3, and I kind of stopped watching it. But the first episode of the first season, I was hooked on that show after like 30 seconds. And if you watch it, you'll understand why. And it's so funny. It's
Okay.
probably just as funny as Seinfeld.
Dave.
High
Check it
praise.
out.
High praise.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, Tim, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting a little bit about Hot Alice. Tell people on the social things and the website things where they can listen, find you guys, order a vinyl, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can go. We have everything on our Bandcamp site. So is it hotalice.bandcamp.com or is it bandcamp.hotalice.com? I forget. But if you go to bandcamp.com.
It's hotalice.bandcamp.com.
Okay, thank you. I can never remember which order it goes. But we have everything on our Bandcamp site. So if you go there, you can pre-order the vinyl, which should, I think, arrive within the next maybe 2 weeks or so. We have CDs, we have shirts. All of our old records you can get to. And then you can stream all of our albums on all of the major streaming sites. Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. Do people still use Pandora? I think so. I don't know.
I think they do. I think they
maybe.
do.
I don't know what other ones are people are using, but the big ones, it's all
What's
out
that
there.
one you used to use, Chris?
I didn't used to use it. You talking about Deezer?
No, Tidal.
Oh, Tidal.
Oh, Tidal.
Is that
I
still
lost
around?
Tidal.
Is that
I
a
don't
thing
know.
anymore?
I lost it. I don't know.
It sounds
Thought they were-
familiar.
It's
think-
isn't that Jay-Z's thing?
I still have the app. Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably still
heavy,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
you can find the music all over the place.
Yeah, and you guys should. So go check out Hot Alice. Tim, thanks again for coming on. It was a blast. Love having you on the show. Can't wait till next time.
Yeah, it's good to talk to
And-
you guys again. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And if you guys out there enjoyed this show, which was our quick hits episode with Tim from Hot Alice, we'd love to hear from you via our social media. So go to Spotify, go to Apple, give us a review, written review on Apple. Either way, give us a 5-star review. We'd love to see that. It helps us feel better about the show. But again, it helps us understand that you guys like what we're putting out there. So if you want to know how to get to our social medias and everything else, how to buy swag, the easiest way is just to go to our hub, which is www.hsnepod.com. That'll link you to the social medias and also to our shop. And Steve's going to tell you all about that.
Yeah, the shop is at hsnepod.com. We got hoodies, hats, mugs, all that good stuff. Go and support the Dragon Wagon Network. We are an independent podcast network, so help us keep the lights on. We also are on all the social medias, mostly Instagram at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Pod. Thank you guys so much for listening. Tim, thank you so much for coming back on. Until next time, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hey, my name's Zen Zenith, and if you've ever wanted to hear intimate conversations and performances from amazing musicians such as Tony Thaxton from Motion City Soundtrack, Dressage, or Field Medic, I've got the podcast for you. Check out The House Show with Zen Zenith on Dragon Wagon Radio. The House Show is a concert series wrapped up in the context of a house show in front of a real live audience that we then turn into a podcast for you. You can find it on Dragon Wagon Radio or wherever else good podcasts are found. Check it out and we'll see you there.
It's Dragon Wagon.